Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie McGlory, and I will be speaking on human trafficking. And the agency that I chose is Homeland Security Investigation. What is human trafficking? Human trafficking is the unlawful act of transporting or coercing people in order to benefit from their work or service, typically in the form of forced labor or sexual exploitation. Now, a little introduction is human trafficking in 2023 was tracked by HSI, having a financial margin of over $244 billion, with over 27.6 million humans of all ages being trafficked for either labor or sexual exploitation. The Department of Homeland Security has sublets, which for human trafficking would be Homeland Securities Investigations, which is a United States government agency that is dedicated to informing and providing resources to the people and especially to anyone that is either being trafficked or trying to provide help for a possible trafficking victim slash victims. Their mission is to protect what matters most: the country, the people, and the future. HSI conducts federal criminal investigations into the illegal movement of people, goods, money, contraband, weapons, and sensitive technology that goes in and out of the United States. Um, there's a tip line if anyone has ever coming across has ever come across or in the future comes across anyone that shows any signs of trafficking, and that would be people that look, you know, like, for example, persons that have stopped attending school all of a sudden, drastic changes in behavior, children or teen engaged in commercial sex acts, persons that are disoriented, confused, or showing signs of mental or physical abuse. Like if you're out and you happen to come across somebody that looks like that, it's always good to just at least report it because you never know if that person is actually dealing uh, with this type of situation. Most of them are going to be fearful and timid and or submissive, because of being a victim. So you want to look out for malnutrition, sleep deprived. Maybe their lines are coached when you approach them and ask them if they need help. Um, are they living in an unstable environment? Stuff like that. So, some family issues, crisis, resources of organizations and definitions and statistics. Family issues or crises um, are covered by HSI, and any tip offered will be investigated. All leads are sent to the DHS Center for Countering Human Trafficking, which is CCHT, which is comprised of 16 supporting offices and is led by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which is ICE. Now, so far, because of the HSI department, 731 human trafficking victims were assisted, and this is all in 2023. Which 382 total continued presence approvals, which were 216 male, 166 female, 67 were sex trafficked, and 310 were forced into labor. 117 published intelligence products on sex trafficking and forced labor, 1,282 cases initiated with 2,610 arrests related to human trafficking. Now, there was 135 CCHT training and outreach events with 14,350 participants and 256 shipments with a value of $6 million, over $6 million, almost $7 million, stopped under a withhold release order. And 194 Blue campaign trainings were conducted with 19,000 participants, 63 new Blue campaign partnerships, and 260,000 personnel trained on human trafficking through BLI partnership. Now, the purpose of the organization is to establish security within the United States and through its borders to preserve its integrity and safety of its people, to create a platform that will give the people of our country to bring awareness and provide resources to anyone that is a victim or anyone that sees a potential victim and knows what to do. Providing assistance and protection to victims through victim-centered investigations, creating a streamline that will sufficiently connect all available resources to identify and target individuals who possess, distribute, and engage with criminal activities. Some of the services that are offered is investigative services for criminal investigations, violations made on the U.S., that are related to immigration, customs, border protection, and enforcement services like arrest, detention centers that apprehend individuals in criminal activities, undocumented immigrants that are involved in criminal organizations. And then there's also public safety and victim assistance, which provides support services to victims of crimes such as human trafficking and abuse that include counseling, housing, legal assistance, and Medicare. The Department of Homeland Securities of Investigations serves the U.S. citizens, public safety, victims of crime and business, immigrants and non-citizens, legal immigrants and undocumented immigrants, law enforcement and government agencies that include federal, state, and local agencies and international partners. Global communities that are served, including international crime victims and global trade participants. Funding source. According to usaspending.gov, the Department of Homeland Security has a federal budget of $185.28 billion in budgetary resources. Now, the little history about the Department of Homeland Security is our public service mission dates back to 1789 in the aftermath of the terrorist attack on 9/11. Congress passed the Homeland Security Act of 2002, which established the Department of Homeland Security as a standalone cabinet-level department to further coordinate and unify national Homeland Security efforts. The doors were officially opened March 1st, 2003, which was created through a combination of all or part of 22 different federal departments and agencies creating a unified department. The Office of Investigation was formed by two of the agencies within the DHS, which was the U.S. Customs Service and the NIS. Effects on the family structure and function. The effects on the family structure and function impacts in various ways that are indirectly and direct. Some of the positive impacts are the protection from crime by rescuing victims from human trafficking and exploitation, victim assistance programs with support services and reunification of families. There are psychological and emotional effects that are from trauma and fear of uncertainty because of HSI enforcement. Actions, for example, child watching their parents become arrested could have long-term effects. Homeland Security has a couple of websites, but if you go to dhs.gov and use the drop-down menu box, you can definitely get in touch with a couple of their resources right there. And you can also go to their annual report and see exactly what's been going on, where the money's spent, who it's going to, and who's being helped. And these are a couple of phone numbers right here that you can also use if you're suspected human trafficking, and also if you are being trafficked yourself. You can also call the 888 number 373-7888. Thank you guys so much for your time.